Hey everyone, welcome to this daily Sidereal Astrology forecast for Thursday, April 2nd, 2020. All right, so today, a very simple day in the astrology once again, at least for the day here. Very important month and week, of course. But today, the moon is going to be shifting into protective Cancer. So the theme likely today around creating a protective environment for ourselves and others. Good day for connecting to our feelings, the past, and perhaps our caring and nurturing side could also be really good with this placement. So we are still in the first quarter phase of the lunar month, which means still a good time of challenging ourselves to implement any new shifts of perspective from over the past week or so. And going into the weekend, we have Jupiter getting close to Pluto. So Jupiter expands, Pluto is the deeper realms of things. So really good time to become more aware of and maybe see a larger picture involving a lot of the deeper stuff that could be transforming or changing within ourselves and then also possibly collectively. All right, so let's take a look at all of this, as well as a quick weekly recap here in more detail when we return. All right, so here's the sky for this Thursday. And again, we are using the actual size of the constellations, which is different from mainstream astrology. If you are new, definitely check out the link down below because the signs are different from mainstream. All right, so let's take a look here at the moon's placement today. We have the moon shifting into Cancer. Those of you further west will experience this for most of the day. If you're more east, then you may just notice this the later part. But all in all, today is a great day for connecting to the protective side of ourselves. Cancer is the crab, the constellation of the crab, which is the side that does want to create that protective environment for ourselves and others so that we can connect to the softer elements of life. Our feelings, the past, things that are important to us with maybe home or family, these kinds of things, really good to develop with, again, that protective sort of approach to things with the moon in Cancer. We could notice some themes around that stuff, but all in all, just a good way of working with this current phase of the lunar month. Now, the phase that we're in is the first quarter phase, which means that if there were any shifts of perspective from around Tuesday of last week, so a little over a week now, could still be good to implement and challenge ourselves towards. But the sun is also in a water sign, so there's some synergy here with the sun and moon. The sun in Pisces means that this whole lunar month has been about developing greater receptivity, more acceptance, finding more peace, surrendering what's outside of our control so we can find more of that peace in life, and all in all strive towards what's important to us on a soul level and how we can have more of that wholeness in our life. So still really good to focus on things in that more receptive way with Pisces, but today maybe particularly in that Cancerian, protective, and perhaps caring and nurturing sort of way. So with this, no major aspects going exact here today, but we are going to be approaching the weekend with Jupiter over Pluto, which is a very important collective energy. And this is a yearly energy that's getting activated here going into next week. And so with this, Jupiter is the planet of expansion. Pluto is the planet of the underworld and depth and truth and transformation and deep things. And so Jupiter can really expand this stuff both personally and collectively. So it's a really good time going into next week to see what does arise. What are some deeper things that we can integrate with ourselves, right? Maybe do some of that shadow work with, or do some of that deep diving, and fundamentally to really empower ourselves, right? What are some maybe fears we can face that we can become aware of? What are some things we can transform in our life? Jupiter's going to help us see the more bigger picture with this stuff, maybe a little bit more of an inspiring or potential or an opportunity to maybe, again, reintegrate or to transform or empower ourselves with any changes we may become aware of or want to make with this conjunction. And this is, of course, also happening collectively as well. We've had this stellium with Saturn, Jupiter, Pluto, and Mars all transiting through Sagittarius here this year, and with Mars recently this last month. So a lot's been shifting, collectively with these planets. And again, it's a lot of the restructuring that we've been seeing since January's Saturn conjunct Pluto. So good day just to bring some extra attention to what is changing, because we do have the moon opposite up to that stellium here today, which could make it a day of awareness, maybe awareness about what is changing, an awareness of the importance of our beliefs and our perspectives and how that is maybe what is fundamentally changing here collectively as well. And again, especially with Jupiter over Pluto, good to challenge our beliefs, look at things in a new perspective, and listen to that spirit for life. What is our spirit for life, our inner selves telling us in terms of what is our journey, what is our path, what are the things we do want to cultivate in our life. So good day for balancing, I would say, some of that perceptual stuff, which is more of the fire energy of Sagittarius, with again that protective, caring, and nurturing energy of Cancer here today. So so that's the day in a nutshell. Most important thing here is, of course, the theme around creating that protective environment. We are in this first quarter phase of the lunar month, making it a good time to challenge ourselves from anything from a little over a week ago. Still good for that receptivity with the sun in Pisces in the larger context. And today starting to see what deep arises that we can empower ourselves with. So let's do a quick weekly recap here. In terms of the other planetary placements, we do have Venus in Taurus. So it is still a good time of connecting to the more natural or steady elements of life. So a good time of maybe being grateful for what we have in our life on a material level, maybe connecting to the resources or nature or a good meal or the sensual life, maybe in our relationships, connecting in that more sensual or steady sort of way there. Mercury is going to be finishing up Aquarius and is going to conjoin up to Neptune this weekend as well. So a lot of our minds have been in more collective matters, which is Aquarius, the future, the collective, the group, community. And so that stuff's starting to finalize as we go into the weekend, but still a good time of, focusing on the future, maybe talking about or communicating things in this more progressive or Aquarian or future-oriented way here. And then Mars and Saturn going into Capricorn. Mars, our action, our drive. There's been a new beginning earlier this week with maybe a more grounded side of how we're asserting ourselves or how we're taking action. So moving forward with Mars and Capricorn, still really good to take that responsible, disciplined, and long-term approach to the things that we may be putting action towards with Mars. All right, everyone. So that is the day in a nutshell and the weekly recap. So thank you again for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I'll see you all tomorrow for the next daily forecast. Take care.